Let's rewind that. Good evening, everybody. Welcome here to South Charleston High School. It's with great pride that we get here together today, giving the welcoming to Dr. Ron During, our superintendent, Mr. Thomas Williams, Ms. Missy Ruddle, the assistant superintendent of instruction in our county, Ms. Marquita Bailey, our lead French teacher in the county, and we were hoping to have Ms. Vicky Carney here with us today too. We want to welcome everybody here, the families, and especially our students who astonishingly scored on that test, the French and Spanish, both, some of them, in what we know as the National Spanish exam and the National French exam. It's a great honor. We have 5 students out of the 10 that ranked at the national level in the state of West Virginia. There are 5 other students across the state, mainly from private schools, that achieved this honor. The National Spanish exam has 3 levels of recognition: gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal. Some of our students, Michael is, as a matter of fact, the highest score in French across the state. Nobody in the state achieved the gold medal. Michael is silver, and from there we have the different levels too. Nicolas, which is one of my students, is not here today. We were hoping for him to make it here. We are going to talk about each individual student in a minute and their scores. But I just want to make the remark, across the nation, there were 1,800 students competing for Spanish, and very few of them score within these levels of recognition. The percentiles range, of course, from 20 to 100. 94 was the highest score, and we have from there up to 67, which is Nicolas, for Spanish. We have a few things to give to them as a recognition. This is my first year teaching here at South Charleston High School. My name is Antonio Jimenez. Probably I should have started with that. I'm native from Mexico City, and I have taught Spanish for quite a few years. Every single year it's been here in the state of West Virginia. It is a challenge to teach a second language here in the state. These kids, some of them are aware, but they really don't have a clue on how difficult it is for them to learn the language in an environment like the one we live here, where there is no exposure, nor to Spanish, nor to French. And for them to achieve this kind of levels is remarkable, okay? When they compete on these tests, they are competing with kids on states where the population, the Spanish population, or people who speak Spanish is a lot higher than what we have here. Here in the state, the Hispanic population percentage doesn't even meet the 1%. When these kids go home, they live their entire outside school life exposed to English language. And they are competing with kids in Texas and states like New Mexico or California, where these kids live in neighborhoods where everybody speaks Spanish, or a lot of people speak French. So when our students achieve this kind of scores, competing with these kids, it's not only a gold medal or a silver medal or an honor recognition, it's a significant achievement because all the exposure they have is here in the classroom. An hour a day for 5 days a week or so, then they go home for a weekend, even worse during the summer. Every break breaks that link with the communication skill that they are developing. So it's very remarkable. And of course, the program that Ms. Peck and the teachers had here had a lot to do with these successes. This is my first year. I basically just jump on the bus and try to go along with them. But these kids are doing a fantastic job. We had about almost 100 students in the school taking this test. Let me tell you something. This test cost money. Every single student here had to pay out of pocket for this test. And as insignificant as it may look like $2 each student. They went out of their way and paid for this test to take it and explore the what is out there and how they compete with these other students, which also it's very, very remarkable on them. Not everybody pays $2 to take an extra test on top of all the tests that they have to test and do as well as they did. Again, we have 5 of these kids in the state, and I'm sure Ms. Peck would agree with me and every other teacher here. We are aiming to build this program even larger and to have a better success in the future. But of course, it's our goal, and it's your task, guys. I mean, you have a heavy load on your shoulders next year. Hopefully, you're going to be testing at a higher level. But trust me, Ms. Peck has done a terrific job. The 2 teachers that retired last year did a fantastic job. I came to find really great students, okay? And we're looking forward to a better year next year. Ms. Peck?
Okay. Well, yeah. Applause. Well, welcome. And I want to first thank Summer Barak for the piano playing. She played Ne me quitte pas and Malagueña. So we had some French and Spanish music to warm you up. I also want to recognize Ms. Crawford, our guidance counselor, who's not here today, who took on the very huge task of making sure that 80-something Spanish students got to take the National Spanish exam, and about 14 French students got to do it as well. It's a lot of work, trust me, I know. So, and thank you, Mr. Arbogast, for giving us this opportunity. Last year was the first year our students did a national French exam, and we were amazed. Well, actually, we were not surprised, but we were very pleased because 2 of our 5 students scored nationally ranked scores, which is amazing. So this year we decided kind of at the last minute, maybe like January, to offer the National Spanish exam. And, thankfully, Senor Jimenez is the Spanish whisperer. You know, there's a dog whisperer. Well, he's the Spanish whisperer, okay? So he got like 60 of his students to sign in, and I was a little more, I don't know, I just say, hey, if you're making an A or B, think about it. Remember, it costs you out of pocket. So we had over 80 students taking the National Spanish exam. And what's really amazing is that some of the students who took the National Spanish exam, well, also took the National French exam. And all of them did beautifully. In fact, every single one had within the top 10 in the whole state. So there you go. So we're here to recognize your children. And I first need to tell you what a pleasure, what a joy it is to work with them. They're not just students with a great natural aptitude for learning foreign languages. They're not just motivated students who are going to work hard every single day. They're just terrific people. They help their classmates. They volunteer for peer tutoring after school. They're involved in student council. They collect cans. They arrange for blood drives. These are the cream of the crop, le dessus du panier. Je vous remercie. I thank you. It's just a pleasure. Can we have the folks who are, there were 4 of you here today. We're missing Nicholas. Can you all come forward? That everybody can see who you are, and we'll talk about you a little bit. Okay? And I actually figured out how to do this while walking one of my dogs and never wrote anything down. Forgive me, I'm just ad-libbing here. Okay, so at level 1 for Spanish, there's a special recognition for Jennifer, who scored in the 72nd percentile. This is awesome. She's in 9th grade. 3 percentage points higher, and she qualified for one of the grand prizes. So Mr. Jimenez and I are going to make sure that those 3 points go up, Next year, we hope to see you taking the National Spanish exam again next year. Again, 72nd percentile. Awesome. Okay, also testing at level 1 is Erin Dodd, also known as Frida or Anastasie in French class. And amazingly enough, she scored in the 77th percentile. That's a bronze medal. That's like, whoa! And if she were not a junior, her score would have made her eligible for one of those grand prizes. But because she's not, a freshman or a sophomore, all she gets is, well, whatever she gets today and the knowledge that she really knows her Spanish. Erin Dodd. Daniel de Bronce. And now, and I'm sorry we don't get to talk about Nicholas, we're on to another Spanish 1 student. It's Michael Jarvis. Okay. And he has the Plata, Premio de Plata, the Silver Award. 94th percentile in the nation. Need I say more? Also known as Francisco, and in third period, Michelle. Okay, and this is for Nicholas, for when you see him. I have one other Spanish award, which goes to Kendall Bostic. Now, you can't read the certificate, but there's a place here to put teacher's name, and I left it blank because she doesn't have a teacher this year. Okay, Kendall came to us from Bible Christian, where she began, her freshman year here, she was in a block French class. There was no Spanish that she took that year. But she took a placement test, and the following year she took Spanish 3. Great. Now this year, again, schedule conflicts when you're in a total IB diploma program and you're doing 2 languages at higher level. You have to really be working hard. She studied Spanish online this year. And there are other kids that'll do these online foreign language classes and they find them challenging and they drop out. Not her. She got 61st percentile, and if you want, you can put your own name in for teacher. Okay, so that's the Spanish. Now, they're going to stay up here, all of them, and now I'm going to do the French. And I wish I could remember. Okay, thank you. Do you remember what your scores were? Because I don't. I had it on a piece of paper. I don't have it. Let me tell you about Michael and Kendall. They're doing double duty today. So those 2 had national ranking last year in the national French exam, and they did it again. But now it's level 4. It's hard. It's really not for the weak of heart. They did it. And they get for it, and you got a medal from last year. Add these to your collection. Do you remember what it is? You do. No? Do you remember the medals? I don't know. Anyhow, okay, I know this. In the entire state of West Virginia, there were 7 students who had national ranking on the national French exam. 2 of those 7 come from this school. 4 are from the Lindsley School. Okay. And 1 from Morgantown High School. Okay. We know what we're doing here. So, the sponsors for these exams, well, the American Association. It looks like you guys got the same one. Okay. Does that make sense? Do you remember? Because you remember more than I do. Okay. Anyhow, they get these medals because I think it's number 2 and 3 in the state, and I don't remember what it is nationally, but they're awesome. Michael and Kendall. Okay. Now, to the gifts. They have to have something. Last year it happened late. We didn't know. We didn't plan. We did it differently this year. We want to acknowledge that. I mean, they're just awesome. And again, thank you. Thank you for letting us work with your children. They're amazing. So, I wonder what might be in this for a National Spanish exam winner. What might it be? What do you think it is? What do you think is in there? You all have the same thing. What do you think we would give them? No, it's not a VHS tape. Lo siento. Para ti. Para Juana. Son diccionarios, español, inglés. We've got them dictionaries. Well, right? And you know, there's more. Gotta get in the spirit here. Sombreros. Can you hold that a minute? So in the summer, in the shade of your sombrero, you can check out words at your leisure. You're gonna kind of get about that. Okay, here you go. And of course, there's more for our National French exam. Let's take a guess. What do you think we have here? But what kind of dictionary? No Arabic. Salante. No, French, Spanish, Spanish, French. Whoa!